There is a place in the south of Vietnam where roads are replaced by rivers. Maps are drawn on land, but here life flows through a geography shaped by water. People don't go to the market by car, but by boat. Transportation follows the rhythm of motorized vessels. And today, one of the world's most fertile deltas stands at the edge of a visible transformation.
From coconut tree.
Coconut tree.
Yes.
This is the Mekong Delta. Water doesn't just carve the land, it also shapes the character, beliefs, and cuisine of the people living through it. Crossing China, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam, about 6,000 kilometers in total, the Mekong River makes its most magnificent and final farewell in southern Vietnam. Locally, it is called Song Coo Long, the River of Nine Dragons.
Bölgeye özgü Pangasius adında bir balık var. Kedi balığı da deniyor.
And this river doesn't end here. It only changes form. Today, as we move through the labyrinth of waterways in this delta, every patch of green caught by the camera, every ripple of water, and every human face becomes part of a 1,000-year-old flowing memory. But this memory is not fixed. It is constantly being rewritten. To see the Mekong Delta merely as a rice basket or a geographical wonder would be incomplete. To see the Mekong Delta merely as a rice basket or a geographical wonder would be incomplete.
Xin chào. Xin chào.
We will eat food made from this fish.
Oh, wonderful. Fresh. It will be very fresh then.
Yeah, but just little, but we
Just
will
little.
eat.
Okay.
Because this place is, anthropologically speaking, a human laboratory intertwined with water, a geography where multicultural belief systems are layered upon one another, and at the same time, a living space being reshaped under the pressure of global crisis. On this journey, we will move along a line stretching from floating markets to Khmer pagodas, from the streets of Can Tho and Khmer to the cuisine of the Delta. But what we'll witness is not just a culture, it's a system, how it remains standing and how it begins to fracture. The sociocultural fabric of the Mekong Delta carries a much older layer beneath its surface.
Hold it.
Historically, this region was under the influence of the Funan Kingdom and later the Khmer Empire. Before the Vietnamese southward expansion, Khmer culture was the defining structure of this geography. This past is still visible today, especially in Khmer pagodas. At first glance, they appear to be religious structures, but in reality, these are not only places of worship. They are anthropological constructions where language, memory, and identity are carved into stone and wood. Steeply rising roof lines upward, reaching ornaments, silent courtyards, and traces of Theravada Buddhism. All of this represent not merely an aesthetic, but a claim of continuity. When the orange robes of monks blend with the green of the river, the boundary between nature and belief becomes nearly invisible. But this unity is not static. Culture here has always existed through intersections, displacements, and layers placed upon one another. The delta draws different peoples into a forced coexistence around the same water. As the sun rises, the river changes too. Rice cracker.
Okay, thank you, Peter.
How long you live in Vietnam? How long?
Perfect.
How long you live in Vietnam?
4th month. 1 month later, we will go to Laos.
Calm waterways become active, boats approach and sounds multiply. And the most characteristic system of the Mekong appears the floating markets. Today, often romanticized, this scene is actually not an aesthetic tradition but an economic system born out of geographical necessity. In times when roads didn't exist, trade depended entirely on water. Over time, this dependence formed its own language. The bamboo poles fixed at the front of boats Kai Beo are the most visible form of this language. Whatever is hung on the pole is what is being sold on the boat. A pineapple, a bunch of vegetables, sweet potatoes, or other goods. There are no words, yet communication is completely clear. In the system, trade is far more direct than the abstract advertising language of the modern world. Here, buying and selling is not only an economic act, it's also a form of social contact. And this is why the markets of the Mekong are not a place, but a movement. A constantly reassembled order on the water. When we step onto land, the rhythm changes. Along the axis stretching from Can Tho to Camao, life is shaped according to the river's tempo. These cities are different from classical urban forms. They are hybrid structures suspended between water and land. Here, time doesn't flow quickly. Moments are not sharp. People don't rush. Even the silence in front of a cafe's stall mimics the behavior of water, the scent of plants rising from narrow streets, small shops along the river banks, and the slow opening of morning markets. All are parts of the same rhythm. Can Tho and Camao are not merely geographical centers. They are layers of collective memory that have been passed through waves of colonialism, war, and global economics without fully dissolving. Perhaps the most direct expression of this geography. The Mekong Delta is a vast ecosystem producing more than half of Vietnam's rice, along with a significant portion of its seafood and fruits. This production is not merely an economic statistic. It represents an entire network of relationships.